Hey guys, Malachite here. I'm going to try to make a very concise video on the Fairies Oracle. To do a review on this deck is going to be a long time coming because there is a lot of exercises at the beginning of the book that you do to kind of learn to bond with the cards. They're going to be a lot of fun to work with. I'm very excited about it. I have to tell you the little strange stories and then I'll get into it. I was looking for jewelry earlier today to wear, and I have some malachite stuff, so I was looking through it, and I have a wire wrapped malachite pendant, and I always want to wear it. It needs to be cleaned a little, but I don't have a chain for it. So I decided to just pick something else, and I found this. Now, it's not like I've never had this. My aunt bought me this as a gift for, it was like a birthday, I think it was a Christmas gift. It's a Celtic knot. She knows I love all things Irish and Celtic, so this was a gift that has been missing for a very, very long time. Why I would not have seen it in the jewelry box is beyond me, because my actual jewelry box is not overflowing. Most of my necklaces are hanging on the wall. Only things that are fragile like these are in the jewelry box, and I have very few things like that. So it was like underneath where the rings go. But I've looked under there before and nothing's ever been under there, and there it was. So I was gonna wear it, but it's a little dirty, so I thought, well, I should clean it. So here comes this, which is a malachite pendant, one of the first ones she got me, and I fell in love with. She's the whole reason that I love malachite as much as I do. It's my aunt. So it's clean as the day it was born, which makes no sense because it's old. So I decided to wear it in my Celtic earrings that she got me. So that was really strange. I got my tea lights out and did my votives. Went to put the tea lights back and there was a $5 bill laying there. Now, I'm not saying money came out of nowhere. I have a place that I put some of my money back from my birthday. It may have been wedged or lost under something in there and just fallen out where I could find it. But there it was, $5. So I was like, oh, money. So, I said proper thank yous, and I don't know if it's because I was going to be working with these cards tonight. I have no idea, but I'm extremely thankful, and I wanted to share the stories because I thought they were really, really nice. I was just really thankful about the whole thing. But I want to get into the cards. The book on this is absolutely amazing, which I showed it the other night, the Fairy Oracles book. It's hardcover. It's like a textbook. The thing's amazing. Brian Froud did the art. The text is by Jessica Macbeth. So when you go in, part 1 is Fairies and the Oracle. You've got first steps into the other world, touching fairy, reading the cards, and basic card spreads. That's the first part I'm going to be doing. I want to work through it. I don't always do that, but basically she talks about reading the book, and one of the first exercises is to take a look at your attitude. And are you really serious about this? Do you believe you will need to work hard with the cards? If so, don't be like that. As much as you can, let yourself approach the cards and the fairies with a light and playful heart. Consider lightheartedness. We usually think of it as an opposite of having a heavy, sad heart, but the fairies also see it in terms of illumination. A light heart is not only not heavy, it is glowing with joyful light. It allows us to see things in a different light. So she talks about basically getting at a big table, or you can use the floor, Of course, you'd want to put a cloth down. She doesn't say that, but I don't like putting my cards just straight on the floor. But to each his own. She doesn't say you have to do that. And basically spreading all the cards out, and you'll notice there's different type of pictures, and then you can just basically you know, put the cards, you just divide them together as you would see them divided together. It's an exercise. And then you go into she would want you to keep an oracle journal, which I think is a great idea, especially working with this, because this really is different than any oracle that I've ever seen. And then you choose a card that's either most appealing or less comfortable for you. And then you've got questions that you go through and work through. This is a little bit like the 21 ways to read a tarot card, if you've ever done that. Only it's a little different, and it's with a fairy oracle. Then she goes into touching fairy. She goes into singing with the fairies, dancing, reading the cards, and she's pretty thorough. Ethics, basic card spreads, reverse cards, predicting the future, companion cards, arcing the cards, and all that before you get into the definitions of the cards. So that's quite a bit of the book there on just working with the cards. And I think it's really important with these cards because you really need to get to know them on a personal level. That's just how I feel about it. I did go ahead and draw a card just so we could look at it, so that I could kind of show you what the book looks like for the card. I am not going to be able to read all the information on the card from the book. We will go over 15 minutes. So I drew the Lady of the Harvest, which I thought was really fitting, especially when you find out what she is all about, especially the crone video that I did, and with fall coming up and everything else. I thought she was so appropriate, and this card is so incredibly beautiful. Fall and the crone aspect and everything is just so beautiful. So it's a lesson I'm learning, and but I think too, just with fall coming up, this was just a really interesting card to pull. And I shuffle a specific amount of times for this deck that I don't shuffle for any of my other decks. I have to shuffle it differently. So but that's no big deal. Basically this is all the information that you get for this card. You learn about her, and then you get all the way to here. So almost 2.5 pages. Basically, after we have experienced the nurturing and fulfillment of the bright mother, the Lady of the Harvest, also called the Old Woman or Crone, helps us let go of what is finished and liberate ourselves to move on to the next phase of our activities and relationships. As in the natural world, the old becomes compost for new growth in our lives. The Lady helps us to adapt to change and release. So, and there's a lot more here that's just such good information, but I just don't have time to read it. She came up upright, so you go with the starter reading, and that is, it is time to accept change, to move on to the next phase. Power and strength in the present and future come from releasing the past. This is a time of liberation, and we might as well cooperate with it. Like one of my favorite things ever said in a tarot or oracle wording ever. It's just like, that's how things need to be said to me, you know. Just, you may as well go with it. Just go with it and just stop trying to micromanage and just go with it. It will happen whether we want it to or not. Release and liberation may be painful or joyful depending on the circumstances. Cry if you need to, be joyful if that is appropriate, but in either case, trust the process, acknowledge what you feel, and prepare to move on. So yeah, I mean, I like the meanings because they're still pretty open to interpretation, and you can still expand upon those for yourself, like with my whole Finding Nemo thing. I mean, for someone else, this is a time of liberation, we might as well cooperate with it, might mean something completely different than it meant for me. This is more back into the meaning of the card. When we liberate something in ourselves or in the world, we grow to be more like the Lady of the Harvest, developing her capacities within us. On the other side of this letting go business, there are many things that make us lighter and happier when we release them. Old traumas, tasks, or stages in our lives that we are glad to have finished, unhappy relationships, or feelings that cause us pain and inhibit our growth. Sometimes we simply comfortably finish with one aspect of our lives and move on to the next, happily anticipating one. Such releases are cause for celebration, and the old woman joyfully celebrates with us. In this card, we can see both the patient acceptance of loss and the joyful celebration of liberation. So the book has incredible amounts of information. The cards have incredible amounts of information just in the photos, in the artwork alone. I mean, I cannot imagine how long it takes him to paint these. I mean, look at the detail. Look at this little guy right here. This creeped me out when I saw it. Just like hiding right there. His artwork's amazing. So, if you like his artwork, there's probably a reason why. And if you like his artwork, you probably sit for 30 minutes at a time looking at one picture. So I think you'll be able to work with this deck really well. Even if you've never looked at his artwork before, if you really want to work with this deck, I think you will be able to. And I think those exercises at the beginning will really help. And if you just come at it with a light heart and just wanting to have fun and just learn and everything, I really think you'll be able to work with it. I'm really excited to continue to work with it, and I may do, you know, a review in another 3 or 4 or 5 months or something like that. So anyway, this deck is beautiful. There's the backing of it, never showed you. And I'm almost out of time, but I'm absolutely in love with this. Many blessings, guys. Many blessings, guys. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.